We're rolling.
Rolling,
Hello,
rolling.
everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back.
I feel
How's it
lost.
going, Darcy? Huh?
It's going great. I love everything.
Oh, we're actually recording this back to back with the previous episode, so
Because we suck.
we can try and pretend like we haven't been talking for the last hour, but it won't be
We
genuine.
have.
All right, so
What you
this,
got?
yeah, I think this one will be it'll be fun. This one I am going to be covering the story of Betty and Barney Hill from Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
Bonnie.
I find this intriguing for multiple reasons, but I love that this is one of the first. Why do I hear myself on your end? What's going on?
You're on my end?
Like I hear myself echoing.
I don't hear any echo.
Okay. All right. I don't know. Okay. Um but this is one of the first kind of like internationally known stories of like UFO abduction. And so I feel like it's cool that this took place, near us here. Actually, side note, Betty and Barney Hill lived around the corner from my husband's grandmother. So
Oh.
my husband's aunt and them like knew who they were. They said they were just always very nice people, kind of kept to themselves. But that also I feel like could be in reference to the fact that this was in the 60s and Betty and Barney Hill were an interracial couple. So Barney was a black man and Betty is a white woman. So of course during that time I'm sure that was quite unusual.
So, did your husband's family have any opinion about like whether or not they believed what
They didn't
happened?
get into it. I'll have to prod a little bit because I didn't go into, they just kind of made it out like, they were like a normal couple, nice people, kept to themselves, but weren't weird or anything like that.
Hmm. Interesting.
Excuse me. But so this took place in September of 1961. Betty and Barney had already been married for about 16 months and they hadn't gone on a honeymoon. So they just like impromptu decided they were going to go on this late honeymoon to Niagara Falls.
And get
They didn't
abducted by
even go
aliens.
to like the bank before they went. They just had what was on them, $70 in their pocket, and they took a drive.
What a hell of a honeymoon. Hey, we didn't go on a cruise or go anywhere tropical.
Hey,
We
you're
just
busy people.
we got
I
abducted
actually
by
thought it
aliens.
was really cool because apparently Barney Hill was a genius. He had like a IQ of 140. He was really, really smart.
Oh wow, I think my IQ is like 1.
I don't even. I've always been curious. Like I was never that bookworm in school, but I feel like I have intelligence in other ways, and it makes me. I always was like, oh, I wonder what even consists of, in those tests, and how would I do? I don't even know what kind of knowledge is it testing. I don't know.
I feel like if I took one, I would score so low that the state is going to have to start paying my husband to take care of me. And actually, it might be a good
They'll
idea.
force you to go on disability.
Yeah, they're going to be like, "Ma'am, you can't. You just can't."
You're like, don't you need proof of this? I mean, I worked in disability. And they're like, no, nope, we have all the proof we need.
Your IQ is so low that we're actually very concerned about the entire country.
You're like, I know how hard it is to get approved. And they're like, not for you.
You are approved long-term disability. You're good.
You're just ushered through.
Yep. They'd be like, "How did you survive this up until this point?" I don't know.
Oh, man. So they had been gone for 3 days. And on the last night of their trip, they stopped at a diner in Vermont to recharge before driving back to Portsmouth. Barney figured because there was rain and wind coming from a hurricane at the time, so he was thinking if they left and pushed through, they would be able to get back to like Portsmouth around 2 or 3 a.m. So they left the diner around 10. And when they were driving, they noticed like a strange light in the sky. And at first, they thought it was a falling star, but it started getting bigger and brighter as they continued to drive. Um, Barney was a World War II vet, and he was an avid plane watcher. And he just didn't feel like there was anything to worry about. He figured it was just a satellite that went off course or something. And as they continued to drive, it seemed like it was moving with the car. And
I
it
don't think
kind of
satellites will do that.
zigged and zagged, ducking past the moon and kind of behind trees and mountain ridges to just like show back up another minute or two later. And
You
so
know
it
what
almost
does
was
that
like
kind of
playing a
stuff?
game of cat and mouse, you know? Um, they thought maybe because of the car's movements, it made it seem like it was doing that. And then they just got really curious. So they pulled over at a stop to like kind of eat a little bit and take a closer look. They had binoculars, and Betty used those to look closer. And she said that it was actually an object that was spinning in the air. Barney told her that it should be a satellite and that she was being completely ridiculous.
Don't
um,
ever tell anyone they're being ridiculous when they see a UFO.
he was very pragmatic. He wouldn't give flying saucers a second thought. You know, he said he knew it wasn't a helicopter because it was too quiet for that. A commercial plane or even a military jet, they would have been able to pinpoint as well. And he didn't want to spook Betty, but he was becoming concerned. So about 70 miles into their drive from the diner, the object had hovered just kind of above the tree line, so approximately 100 feet or so above them. And at that point, Barney stopped the car abruptly and kept the engine running. He had a handgun that he kept in his car beneath the seat, and he
I'm
stuck it.
sorry. There's
Huh?
a UFO following you, and you think you're just going to stop and
Yeah,
use
I'm
a
gonna
handgun?
shoot it down.
Yeah. Good luck.
Anyway, so he grabbed it, he stuck it in his pocket, and he rushed into a dark field, leaving Betty in the car. Like, way to go, dude! Come on.
Yeah. Good choices were made.
Yeah, yeah. It says what he saw was as big as a jet, but round and flat as a pancake.
That's how I describe my butt.
Mine too. Oh man, I always am like my butt just like tapers up. We people are gonna think we are so hot based on how we describe ourselves in these episodes.
And very intelligent too.
Oh my god. He says he recalled thinking, "My God, what is this thing? It can't be real."
That's what she said. Sorry.
Oh, that could go either way.
It really could.
He
Had
said
moments like
behind,
that.
huh?
I said I've had moments like that.
He said behind rows of windows, he could see gray uniformed beings that seemed to look right at him.
That's when
He
you run. You fucking
well,
run.
he said he tried to lift his hand to his pistol, but somehow he couldn't. He said a voice told him to not put down his binoculars. So apparently he was using his binoculars to like look.
Mm.
Um, he said all of a sudden he had a startling thought of, we're about to be captured. He started yelling hysterically and he ran back to the car and then jumped in and barreled down the road. Betty was tracking this object and craning her head outside of the car, which I'm like, dude, I'd be like under the seat. Like, I don't know about you, but I'm not be
Yeah.
like, hey guys.
I'd be looking for napkins to be wiping up my diarrhea in the seat. Because that's what would be happening
I love that. I love that
out of my
visual.
pancake ass.
It says, without explanation, they heard like rhythmic beeps, like beeping coming from the car's trunk. And then all of a sudden they were feeling like drowsy and then lost consciousness. So they came around like 2 hours later and they were 35 miles down the road.
I've had nights like that.
We don't talk about those ones.
No. It was yesterday.
So they ended up making it back home. And at that point, they were just trying to make sense of everything. And the weeks following, Betty started kind of doing some research at libraries and discovered the civilian UFO group and um, started kind of taking notes and things like that. In the upcoming years, Betty was suffering from disturbing dreams. Barney was developing ulcers and anxiety, and they started to see a therapist. So they both started meeting with this psychiatrist, and this psychiatrist, Benjamin Simon, um, it said that he was a psychiatrist and a neurologist. Interesting. But he specialized in hypnosis. And so they both kind of went through this process of hypnosis to try and recall what happened during those 2 hours that they lost.
Mm.
And um, through weeks of sessions, they were able to piece together what they thought happened. A vessel had landed on the Hill's car, putting them to sleep. Afterwards, gray beings walked up to them and walked them up a ramp onto this spacecraft. When they were inside, it says that the Hills were separated and they both took turns in an examination room. They said it had curved walls and a large light that was hanging from the ceiling. They were asked to climb up on a metal table, and Barney's legs, I guess, were too long and they like hung over the side of the table, which I was like, I always find stuff like that interesting, like these tiny little random tidbits of information because it
Mhm.
makes it feel more legit.
Yeah,
Whereas,
like, that's such a detail.
yeah, you know what
How
I
would you just
mean?
make that up?
Right. It said that during the examinations, they had removed Betty and Barney's clothes and they were like plucking strands of hair. They were taking clippings of their nails and like skin scrapings, and that they were placing all of these samples on like a clear material, kind of like the glass slides you would use for like a microscope.
Yeah.
They said Betty said that there was one large needle that was inserted into her belly as if it was like a pregnancy test, and it left
Ew.
her in a lot of pain.
Ugh.
They said there was like one leader that was kind of watching all of this take place from the side, but like wasn't participating.
Maybe he
Um,
was, like, just afraid.
oh
Maybe
my
he
god,
just
I
didn't want
just
to.
had a flash of that SNL skit, the UFO one
Oh
with
my god, with Kate McKinnon.
the best one in
I
recent history.
have seen it so many times, and I
It's
crack
so
up
freaking
every
funny when she's
time.
like, "No, it felt real off the books."
Yeah. Yes.
He
Oh my
started
god.
slapping on the wall and told her to pee in the bucket.
Yes.
Oh, it's so good. And Ryan,
Can't
uh,
not laugh.
oh my God, could he not keep a straight face? Holy crap, it's so good. I've
If
watched it so many times too. I love how she was like let go out of a poop chute onto the top of Long John Silver's.
Yes. Her delivery of the whole thing was just perfect,
Oh,
and if
well,
someone
now
hasn't
she
seen it, they
says
need
this
to.
leaves me a little miffed. She's so good in it. Oh, I don't know how they kept straight faces. Like, I know they
I don't
didn't
know.
perfectly, but I would have been
I would've
dying
peed my
because she's
pants.
so good. We're gonna get more of that boob. What did she say that? Because they were like slapping her boobs.
Yeah, I don't remember what she said now, but I need to go watch it again.
It's so good.
We should just
If
play
anybody
that at
hasn't
the end of
watched
this
it, look it
podcast.
up because it's so 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 good.
It's so
But
funny.
that's exactly what I thought of when I heard of him watching from the side. Like she
Yeah.
talks with the lookout guy in the hall.
Yes.
Oh man. So this says that later, alone with the leader, Betty asked where the craft had flown, and that the being joked with her and said, "If you don't know where you are now, there wouldn't be any point to telling you where I am." Okay.
Uh,
Later, under hypnosis, she actually drew a map, a star map, um, shown to her on the ship. So, like, apparently they had like shown her a map, and she like drew it out.
I would never be
So,
able to do
in
that.
1965, the Hill story was picked up by a Boston newspaper, and at that point, everything changed. They became like the subject of a best-selling book, and a movie, which I didn't know, a movie starring James Earl Jones, so now I kind of need to look that up.
Yeah.
Um, and they weren't the first to spot a UFO or even report it, but they were the first to get like the nation's imagination piqued and, publicized and all of that. So
Yeah.
I wonder, it does make me wonder if that's also because of the fact that, they were an interracial couple in the 60s, which was different as well. So I wonder if that was part of why it got so popular.
I also saw I think it was like within the last 6 months. I don't remember what I did yesterday, so I can't tell you exactly, but um there was a show about this and they actually had the dress that she wore that night that happened, and no one had ever apparently really inspected this dress before, but um whoever was like kind of investigating this, he turned her dress inside out and there was actually like stains on the inside of her dress where her belly button would have been that would be
Really?
consistent with
I didn't
like
see that.
fluid.
I saw that it was ripped.
Yeah, so I'll have to find that show. Cuz there's a guy that's into like that paranormal stuff but like debunking stuff and whatever, and he was doing it. I'll find it and I'll send it to you.
Yeah. I find them so interesting. I also really want, I know it's not local, but I definitely really want to do one on the, is it Travis Walton, the
Sure.
fire in the sky?
I have no idea.
Huh?
I have no idea.
Did you ever watch Fire in the Sky?
No.
That was a movie that came out. It might have been the early 90s or late 80s, but it was based off a true story. And that one I find really interesting too because there's like so many of them with the exact same story. And
Mhm.
like they didn't get famous or anything. Like people ended up hating them and calling them liars. And like some of them to this day say that like their life was ruined. And like, why would you tell people this if
Yeah.
this is what was happening?
Exactly. Why would you set yourself up to be ridiculed and treated like shit and like you're a crazy person if this didn't really happen? I'm not going to make up that shit so that people can think I'm insane. People already think I'm insane, but I wouldn't want to put myself through that for something that's a lie.
Yeah. So once their story became better known, abduction accounts, there are like other abductions that accounts of abductions that were shared that have similar characteristics, like the medical examinations. I'm sure so many people have heard that stuff because that's usually pretty standard. Aliens with large heads and big eyes, dubbed as grays, um, UFO circles. Um, the Hill story and those that came after helped pave the way for more understanding of the human experience, the alien abduction phenomenon, um, non psychotic individuals who develop these beliefs and false memories of experiences like this that never happened. All of these things started being spoken about and talked about more frequently.
You don't really
Although,
hear about it now though.
huh?
You don't really hear about it now though.
I don't know. You do, and I think it depends on whether you're looking for it. I do think that there's far less people who make people out to be completely insane now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like even from back when I was younger, people would have been like, "These people are crazy," like
Yeah.
Fox Mulder. Whereas
Exactly.
now, I think that it's a little less. I mean, to think that we're the only ones in the universe is stupid, if you ask me. But
Yeah, I don't know what else is out there or could be out there, but I don't find it that far fetched that there is something else out there,
yeah, I agree. Um,
like Bigfoot.
I do find it interesting too that they like I don't know. I find it interesting that they did the hypnosis and kind of took it as confirmation. I feel like
Yeah.
these days we're less inclined to do that.
Yeah,
Like I feel
because
like these days people would be more so inclined to say that it was just something created while under hypnosis. You know what I mean?
exactly. Yeah. I don't think that that can be an exact science to say that
Yeah, I don't know how
whatever
it could be.
comes out during hypnosis is 100% really what happened. I think you're brain can make up a lot of
Yeah.
shit. So I don't
I
know.
mean, I think you can even when you're not in hypnosis, I think that's safe to
Yeah,
say.
exactly.
Um, but yeah, after that, she spent a lot of her life um, talking about it and talking to other people about what took place and researching and things of that nature. And um, Barney ended up dying a bit young, and it was unexpected. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The majority of their story. But I do think I'm trying to think if I know of any other ones locally, but it is cool, and I'll have to if I post this to YouTube or when I get the chance to. They have pictures of what they drew. They both drew separate pictures of what the craft looked like, and they look almost identical,
That's crazy.
which I think is cool.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely interesting. And I think more people need to speak out when they get abducted by aliens so that we know more because the aliens are gathering all this information about us, but I
I'm
don't think we
telling
have
you.
enough information about them.
I mean, I know that we've had like an influx over the last however long with people having like pictures, I mean, videos that they've taken with their phones. But with some of this stuff, you'd think that we would have more of
Yeah.
that, like more actual videos of stuff.
I
I
saw a
want to see the
really
videos.
bright star in the sky last night, or a really bright light, I guess I should say. And I was like, maybe it's a fucking UFO. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it was just a star.
I saw the coolest shooting star. It went like it did like if you were gonna draw ruffles on a dress, you know, whoop whoop whoop, like it did
Oh,
like it was really cool.
that's cool.
It is cool. But um have you watched it just this just made me think, have you watched any of um what the hell is it called? The whole Skinwalker Ranch series?
No, I haven't seen any of it.
It's so cool. You should watch it. It really is interesting, and this is obviously kind of in line with that, but like cattle mutilation and things like that. But
Oh, cool.
they
I'm so excited.
they claim to have seen. Do you know anything about Skinwalker Ranch?
No.
Oh my God, Darcy, where have you been?
I live
This
in
is
New
one of the
Hampshire.
most famous, like I don't know, I guess UFO or paranormal locations there is.
Yeah, it comes up often as like a show that's suggested for me, but and then I don't watch it.
Like there's supposedly portals that creatures have crawled out of, and
I think that's where I came from. I'm pretty
if
sure.
only they knew it was just you the whole time.
It was just me. Sorry, guys.
No, it really is interesting. And then they've tried to do testing for like radiation and stuff because a couple people have had injuries that make no sense or like swelling in their brain when they've gone near certain things on the
Oh my
ranch.
god,
And
I've had swelling in my brain.
this explains so much. I learned so much about you during these episodes.
I know. I'm gonna go get those records from the hospital and show you.
I don't know how many episodes, I mean, seasons there are now, but there's at least two. I think I was just watching that they're doing more, but
Hmm.
like the guy who owns it now bought it. He was more of a skeptic and he bought it to just kind of like have something to do, I think. And he sent like this
I need a hobby.
scientist
Let me buy
there with
Skinwalker
people who,
Ranch.
huh?
I said I need a hobby. Let me buy Skinwalker Ranch.
Seriously. I mean, if you got money to throw around, I guess. Wouldn't you want to buy that shit?
Yes.
I mean, um, the stories of the family that lived there before it's been like bought and sold multiple times are pretty cool. I mean, if you want to call it that. Also scary.
Yeah.
Like massive wolves and stuff that like they can't stop staring at that are like
I
right.
love wolves.
I know. Wolves are huge.
I know.
They're really big.
They're my spirit animal.
We have a lot of coyotes near my house, like you can hear them.
Hmm.
It's and there was one night where I was in my son's room and like he was watching something on his tablet and I thought I was hearing the tablet, but they were like there were so many of them just going crazy. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Whoa, that's really close."
They're like wild and
I
out
always
behind
get
my
paranoid when
house.
my cats sneak out because of that.
I know. Well, that's why I was always thought my ducks were gonna get eaten because we have coyotes and bear and bobcats and
Yeah.
basically everything where I live. So I'm like, can we just not attack my ducks?
Yeah,
That'd
you're
be
like
great.
really, I mean, for me, it's like I'm not even that much in the wood. We kind of like, we're a little secluded, but not like where you are, you know?
I'm in the middle of nowhere.
You're in the woods.
Very woodsy.
But it's pretty.
Thanks.
Just got to
I
watch
like
out for
it.
those machete wielding maniacs.
Yeah, there's probably one down the road,
Probably.
or it's me. I don't know.
I was going to say, or there's one right in your house.
We do have a machete here.
We don't have one.
My husband uses it when he goes hunting to like cut down
Well, that makes sense. Yeah.
trees and tall grass and
Brush.
stuff. Yes, that's what I was looking for. Brush. That was a hard word.
Oh, man. Yeah, I think there's probably lots of UFO episodes we could do, but
Hmm.
locally, I don't know how much we have, but I do think the other one is really interesting based on all the information. And I'll have to watch Fire in the Sky again, but I want to find this movie based off of this story because I didn't even know they had it till I started looking it up.
Yeah. And I'll find that show for you, and so you can watch that too, where they investigate
Yeah.
the
Yes.
story of Betty and Barney.
Betty and Barney.
Barney. I just like the name Barney.
It's a good name. It's a
Yeah,
solid name.
it's solid, and I liked Barney when I was younger.
My little sister was obsessed.
Barney was
Obsessed.
the man. I just love dinosaurs.
Yeah, I've been hearing some sketchy things about the man in the suit though, so
God damn it! Don't
I'm
ruin
telling
Barney
you,
for
it's
me.
like
Is he like
I,
the
I
subway guy?
yeah, I think it is. I think it's like that.
Well, I give
I
up.
feel like it's so tough because you don't want to believe that stuff, but at the same time, it makes total sense, right?
It does.
Like, hey, this is the perfect job for me.
Fucking
So
people.
I
They
don't
ruin
know.
everything.
Because who was on that? Who was on Barney? Was it, what was it? Selena Gomez? Somebody was on Barney.
Weren't like all the like I thought Justin Timberlake was when he was really little too.
No, was it Barney? They were on like the Mickey Mouse,
Oh yeah. I don't fucking know who
whatever.
it
They were
was.
Mouseketeers. Brittany and Christina and Justin.
Yes.
It's gonna be May.
May.
It's gonna be soon.
It's gonna be May. So close.
Oh, so that's all I have for this one. It's kind of a short one, but it's a fun one.
It's not about the length, Danny. It's not about the length.
Oh, it's
It's the
about the
quality.
quality. All right. Well, yay for 2 episodes. Woohoo!
Look at us go. We're
Look
like
at us. We're crazy.
professionals.
Cool. I'm going to end recording here, but hang on the line for me. Thank you, everybody, for listening. If you listened at all, we appreciate it.
Anybody?
Oh,
Hello?
Darcy,
What?
do a missing person.
Oh shit.
Way to freaking screw it up.
I'm so unprepared.
And I just did
Oh my
if
God.
you're in the list, I just did the second from the top. The top
Pulling
2
up-
were the ones
Pulling up the list.
I hadn't seen when I looked last.
Okay, so you did that
Like
one.
there's so many new faces on here for me.
There is actually,
Right?
and
I
like
know.
very
What's
recent.
happening?
I don't like it. It's making me
I
scared.
don't either. And doesn't the kid fourth down look like Roger from Sister Sister? Is it just me?
Yeah, actually, that's what I was just gonna do.
Oh, do him.
Okay, I'm not gonna do him, but I'll talk
Oh,
about
we'd
him.
have to find him first.
Exactly, he's missing. This just took a turn, but anyway, so his name is Thaddeus Cyr,
I
CYR.
love his name.
Yeah, I do too. He's 17. He went missing from Bedford, New Hampshire and was reported missing on February 25th of 23. He was 17 at the time as well. He has black hair, brown eyes. He's 5'11", 130 pounds. He is a black male. He's listed as a possible runaway, but even if he is a runaway, it doesn't mean that he doesn't need to be found. He doesn't deserve to be found. We still need to find him.
What was he wearing?
Oh, yeah. You want to know that?
Sometimes they don't have it, so when they do, I try to.
He was wearing black sweatpants, a red hat, red/black sneakers, and a black hoodie.
Yeah.
So
There's
you
a
can
lot of new
contact
faces on this list,
the
man.
Bedford Police Department if you have any information, or you can contact the missing persons. Where's the phone number?
It's in the yellow at the top. It's 603
Yes.
223 3859.
Thank you.
I got you. I
You can
got you,
also
boo
send him a
boo.
fax, and that's
Oh my
603
God,
two
shut
seven
up.
one 0303.
Could you imagine me like, I've got some information.
I'm going to fax
Fax it
it.
over. They
We're
fax me
not
back to like, what do you got?
we're not trying to make light of the situation. We're just
No.
assholes.
Faxing
Like
though.
he really is missing and he really needs to be
Yeah.
found.
It bums me out how many new people are on here though.
Yeah, I mean I haven't looked at this in a little while, but like I just pulled it
For a
up
small
now.
state, you know what I mean? Like I guess
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's really really crazy how many new people just this year alone. We're only in April.
Yeah, I know.
This is insane.
Yeah, because what? What do we have since the turn of the year? A lot.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 since January.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, since January 5th.
And so and think about this, like doesn't this seem crazy because these go all the way back to what? Let's see. So the oldest one is Janice Taylor and this one was reported missing 1968.
Mhm.
After that the next one was 73.
Mhm.
So we have 74 cases and 9 of them are from the last few months.
Yeah.
Like is that not crazy to you?
And
Like I
there's
realize some people are probably, taken off the list as the years go by, but even still.
and they're like a pretty wide range of ages too, and a good mix of male and female that are going
Yeah.
missing. So it's not like it's just a bunch of teenage runaways. It's men and women that are in their 30s, 40s, 50s. I mean, it's just crazy.
The guy on, not to make light of something, but the guy on page 15, Oded, Oded, is that his name? Oded Gordon? Does he not look like Nacho Libre? Is that just me?
Oh, yeah, he does. He definitely does.
That's an oldie though. When was that one?
Yeah.
89. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot for this year so far.
There's just a lot for New
I
Hampshire
still
in
feel like we
general,
need to
but
definitely do the Boston guys going missing.
oh, the
There's so much to
smiley
it though. I feel like it
face
would take like forever. We should
killers.
just do it like a
Oh.
series where we cover like a couple and then we can group them together into like a series.
Yeah, because there was I don't know what in 2021 or 22 there was 12 that were all kind of suspected to be suspicious, and then I'm sure more have happened since then.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I feel like some people pay attention, but if they don't, you just don't even know about it.
Yeah. It's and it goes across the country too. It's not just on the East Coast, but it seems to be happening in major cities, and a lot of them I believe are on the East Coast, so yay us.
It's the whole them just they just fell in the
But then it doesn't make sense.
right. It doesn't.
Yeah.
They all it's always like, oh, some reason they broke off from the group and then, you know,
Yeah, and it's just in that one moment where they
it's
got
weird.
separated from their friends or whatever for
That's one of those ones like the Connecticut River Valley Killer where I think we just have to take like time out here and there and add to it and keep adding to it.
yeah,
But yeah. So
I agree.
anyway, all right. Well, I think that'll do it for this episode. I appreciate everyone listening. And we're really excited about all the new things to come. Lots of things coming up, lots of things to plan and figure out. And
Woohoo.
if anyone has any suggestions on things you'd like us to cover, um, you can email us at the Shart Show DD, like Danny Darcy, at gmail.com.
Double
And
D's.
or if you have any stories, I think it would be really cool to do like listeners' stories that we read. I love that. So if anybody has stories they want to submit or anything like that, feel free to email them to us as well.
Especially creepy stories.
What?
I said especially creepy
Yeah,
stories.
I love the creepy ones.
Me too,
Give us
because I'm
all the
creepy.
creepy stories. Did you like my song?
I did love it, yes.
All right,
I've been
Darcy.
known to lie.
No. You're brutally honest.
No. Yeah, I am.
Yeah, you are. At least I know that I'm getting the truth from you.
Exactly.
That's what I love. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. We hope you have a fantastic day, week, whatever, and we will talk to you again next time.
Bye.
Bye.